Hello, this is Deja Lee Labriere, and I welcome you to my podcast called Life in My Voice. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversations that we bring here. Today is the 1st of January, 2024. What a year 2023 was. My goodness, oh my goodness. There are so many things that I accomplished during this past year, and things that were positive and things that were negative, but they still got done. Today, I want to talk to you about what might be happening in 2024 for you. At one time in my life, I didn't think I would make it past 6, let alone to 75. But I did. And I have things to say, and I think you have things to say as well. So this past year, I learned to use my voice more than ever. I was out there doing so many things, like I was in an art show twice. I wrote a book called Greeting the Day, Wisdom from My Gardens, which is a self-reflective, meditative kind of book that you read one page at a time, each day, one page, and reflect on the things that come up for you as you read the book. And I fell in love, and then I got my heart broken, but those things happen. And so many other things. I started this podcast up again after several years having put it down. And I'm learning to speak to people in this way rather than in front of groups. Because I used to speak in front of groups at conferences and universities. And my topics were about healing from trauma, mostly child abuse. And I had artwork. Oftentimes, I was able to put them up in front of people to explain what they were all about and help people to understand what healing from that kind of trauma was like. But, it isn't about that right now. For me, it's about learning who you are and what you want to know, what you want to talk about. Because I have things I want to say, but I'm sure that you have things you'd like to say as well. So I hope at some point in time you'll put a comment in the section below my podcast and let me know what you'd like to talk about. If you'd like to hear my opinion about healing from ritual abuse, you want to hear my opinion about knowing who you are and what you want, knowing how to find yourself and how to lose yourself, for sure. And then moving into a new way of life, a new way of thinking, a new way of loving, a new way of having compassion for others, a new way of having compassion for yourself. Oftentimes we don't have that compassion for ourselves, and it moves us to do things that really aren't very constructive for ourselves. Like we hurt ourselves. We get into relationships that are not good for us. We go places that aren't good for us. We think things that were told to us as children, and we believed them. We bought into it. We believed them. But as adults, we don't need those things anymore. We don't need to be telling ourselves that we're not good enough, or that our voice doesn't matter, or that we failed, or any number of things that we keep hearing ourselves say to ourselves. And yet those voices aren't ours. Those are the voices of people who were important in our lives at one time. And hopefully we've moved away from those people in a sense, whether it's physically or just occasionally visiting them or having them in our lives in a very limited amount of way, so that we can build our self-esteem, build ourselves back up. Because as a baby, we didn't come into this world thinking how horrible we were. We were all about ourselves. We got applauded when we got cheered on when we started taking steps. We got cheered when we ate a carrot. We got cheered when we wore a new dress. We had all kinds of accolades when we were babies and children. But as adults, we've had to fight our way to get those kinds of accolades, not just from others, but from ourselves, because we took on those opinions about ourselves that were not in reality. They were somebody's reality, but they weren't real. Not really. So I want to tell you now that you are important, that your voice matters. I care about what you have to say. I am here for you. I want to know what you want to know, what you want to talk about, what will move you and motivate you to move into 2024 in a good way, in a way that is helpful and happiness comes to you in all kinds of manners, that you have abundance of love and joy and peace in your life, that you have friends and family around you that really care about you, where you can have real and authentic conversations with them, that really listen to you and that hold you in your heart and are able to hold all of your emotions. They allow you to be sad when you're sad. They allow you to be happy when you're happy. They have to care about you. Otherwise, you will probably need to move away from them, whether it's physically or just in your heart, away from them. I know when I was going through a lot of my recovery work from the abuse that I got, I had to actually physically divorce my family and move away from them and not let them know where I had gone. But that's a drastic move on most people's part. They can't do that. But for me, it meant my life. So I want you to know that there are lots of things that you can get through, that you can go through and come out the other side and be happy. And in 2024, I hope that's the year that you find those ways that you can be happy, that you can have accomplishments in your life, that you can applaud yourself, give yourselves high fives, and enjoy the accolades, whether they're from yourself or from others. Make sure that you're in a good place with other people so that you're not being put down. You're not being told that gaslighted. You're not having to worry about whether somebody else is doing something that's going to be harmful to you. I want you to have happiness. I want you to have peace. I want you to have joy. I want you to see yourself in the best light ever and have so many amazing accomplishments in 2024. No matter what you're doing, congratulate yourself and give yourselves high fives for even the baby steps. The baby steps that you took as a child were applauded. You need to applaud yourself and find others who will applaud you too. I hope you have a beautiful, meaningful, and loving 2024. We'll talk more about this later, but for now, I want you to know that 2024 is here, January 1st, 2024, and it's getting late in the evening, and I want you to know I care. I care to hear your voice. Stay tuned for the next episode. I'll see you then. I love you. Bye-bye. Follow me on Facebook at Dejalie Labriere, also on Instagram, and my website is called healingjourneypalette.com. I hope to see you there. Have a great night.